It's been 5 weeks since Examiner reporter Adrian Sudbury left the Royal Hallamshire Hospital in Sheffield after spending 4 weeks in total isolation following a major bone marrow transplant. He is now back home at his flat in Sheffield, and although things seem to be going reasonably well for him, he hasn't been completely free of complications.
The first 3 weeks I've mainly slept, rested. I was sick a few times, my stomach's not recovered properly, and for a while I wasn't eating properly. I was eating more than I was in hospital, but still not as much as I'd like to. And now it's got to the stage where I am feeling better, but there's been a few blips along the way. I mean, we were told to expect to come back to hospital 2 or 3 times with infections, and last week I got a nasty infection. I had to go back in to hospital within about 2 hours actually. I was in there that morning for a checkup, came home and was suddenly shivering and had a high temperature, was being sick, and we had no option but to go back in. That was treated very quickly, and within 3 days I was out again. The only complications been this thing called graft versus host disease, which you might remember from an earlier blog. And basically, this disease stems from these new cells that have come in, reacting with your body. And the complicated bit is, the kind of concept I try and get into your head is, a small amount of it is a great thing, and a small amount is probably my best chance of being cured from leukemia. Too much, however, is quite bad and can potentially be fatal, so there's been quite a tightrope to tread.
The Royal Hallamshire Hospital have now launched an appeal to help give leukaemia and cancer sufferers a better quality of life during their time on the wards. And who better to front the campaign than Hollywood legend and local man Sean Bean?
I was asked a few months ago to come up to Sheffield to be involved with this appeal, and I said yeah, I'd be pleased to do so, and since then we've just been trying to find a date where I've not been sort of involved with other projects and work and stuff like that. So I'm finally here, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
The Sheffield Leukaemia Blood Disorders Appeal aims to raise at least £150,000 for a range of desperately needed equipment on the leukaemia wards.
It'll serve people, certainly in the South Yorkshire area and the surrounding areas, and just make the lives a little bit easier. I know a lot of people spend a lot of time, some of the patients, in total isolation for weeks and sometimes even months, on end. And this will just help give them a bit more quality of life and make the time here more comfortable.
Adrian went down to the hospital on Friday to meet the Hollywood star as he planted a tree to signify a lasting reminder that the appeal is ongoing.
I think Sean Bean will add a lot to this campaign, trying to raise £150,000 to refurbish P3, the ward I was staying on, and the money will make a lot of difference. If you can remember, looking back at the videos where I was in isolation, the rooms are ever so basic, and the idea is to have internet in all rooms, just make them much more homely, a better television, a better radio, ones that work properly, and just generally make them feel more comfortable. I mean, you're in there for a long time, and anything to improve the patient's welfare has got to be a good thing.
We shared a room. I go to the toilet, come back.
In the meantime, all Adrian can do now is wait to find out if his transplant has been a success.
Overall, I am progressing, and if I look back to how I was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'm a million times better now. So hopefully in a month's time I'll be pretty much back to full strength. Fingers crossed.